Hello Pragna, welcome to Micah's College.
Thank you, sir.
The first question that I want to ask you is, if you are asked by a prospective employer to introduce yourself in less than 2 minutes, how would you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Pragna Mavathur Suresh, currently working as an ERP Analyst at Western Digital. I have about 3.5 years of experience in the company. I would say I have experience in procurement, supply chain, databasing. I'm also identified as a quick learner, very adaptable and an effective communicator.
What made you to venture into supply chain management? From engineering to supply chain management, what was the reason?
Sir, I was a part of Force Ikshvaku Racing, which is a student racing team in National Institute of Engineering, Mysore, where I was not a part of the technical team, but I was a part of the statics team, where I was allowed to do the business presentation, business pitches, and take care of the financing and do some marketing and do some crowdfunding, get sponsorship. Here I started developing some interest, how the business works, what is operations in general, and supply chain I think goes hand in hand to all of this, and I've heard the term since my childhood because of my father and his experience in supply chain industry. I've just had a vague interest since child, but now I wanted to make it my full-time career. So I did my courses, I did my extra learning towards it, and now I'm comfortably working in the same direction.
My second question, or third question rather, would be what is making foreign education such a desirable thing for youngsters like you?
I would say the exposure, global exposure that it gives us when we leave the country. It's not just about the education once we leave, it's about meeting new people, making networks all around the world, and knowing different cultures, languages, and obviously there is shift in the education system. It is not like our Indian education system. Everything is based on practical experience, case studies, and more hands-on experience with everything we do. So I think that drags especially the children these days to go and study abroad.
Would you be mastering in supply chain management only when you go abroad, or you have any other ideas?
So I am taking the master's program in engineering management, but I'm thinking of majoring in supply chain and operations. Then comes the product management. The third option would be risk analysis and change management in the organization.
Okay, so more or less your studies would revolve around product management, product development. Yes. That would be your area of interest. Great. In that case, when did you actually think of going abroad? Because you worked for 3.5 years after your engineering here in India. Yeah. So when did you actually think about it?
So I think about a year ago, I was finishing my 2.5 years, or almost 3 years was done in the company, and I was starting to think, I think this would be the right time for me to deep dive into supply chain. Know things better. So at my company, I just work on some projects, very specific to the project, whatever is required we do, but on the whole, to have a better knowledge and deep dive into the subject, I thought this would be the right time. And along with that, I really wanted to do it abroad because, like I said, it's not only just about the education, but it'll teach you how to live alone, how to manage everything on your own. So I wanted that experience and change in lifestyle as well.
There is a very common question most of the students ask. When should we actually do our post-grad? Should it be soon after the undergraduation program, or should it be after a few years? Now I know you are doing it after working for some time, but how would you see this thing?
So 3 years ago, when I had a choice of either going and studying abroad, if not staying back to work in the company that I was placed in, I thought working right now would be a better thing because obviously the experience counts. And we know how corporate world works because we were students till yesterday. Tomorrow you're an intern. In 6 months you're a full-time employee. So that shift was much needed for me. So my very close friends who left right after engineering keep telling me that good that you're coming with some experience, because in the whole cohort I think almost 5 to 6 years of experienced people come to study the postgraduate degrees usually. So as somebody without experience, there's some kind of fear, some kind of how to face people, how to talk to new people is still there, because we still are 20-year-olds when we finish. So now I'm almost 24, 25. So all the 5 years of experience I'll take with me while I go there. So I'd say
so you advise that going to a post-graduation should be after a few years of experience. That will make you a better student?
Yes, because one thing, experience. Second thing, maybe you can fund your own education, right? So that is something that you will be ever proud of. So apart from that, again, if you want to find a job after your graduation, you still have the connections from your old company. You can always reach out to them. In the worst case scenario, in the times of recession, bad job market, you can go back to them, you can talk to them. Or if your manager is not in that company, he or she is in the other company, you can just text them on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, because these days managers are very friendly and they get what you want. So the support you will have from the industry.
Nice. What are the chances of you going back to your same company after your PG program?
I'd say currently I'd go back to my company. I'll see how the situation is. Like I said, the job market is very bad in the US currently. People who are graduated today or in the month of May, they've been applying for over 10 to 12 companies every single day. And I have my very close friends who are in that situation today, and they all went without any experience. So another friend similarly who went with the experience, she just texted her manager. He connected her to the US offices, and now she has a job and she's been working since last 6 months. So it's always a good thing to have that as a backup.
The next thing that I want to ask you is, see, when this idea of going abroad started, or when it became very concrete in your mind, with whom did you discuss this first?
First and foremost, I discussed it with my friends who were there already. They were done with 2 to 3 quarters by then. So I spoke to them, I asked them, and they gave me the confidence that if anything, you're in a better place because you're coming with experience. And my father, who always has given me all the opportunities and always agreed and said yes to whatever I want to do. He told me there's so much that you learn outside. Desha suttu kosha odu is what he told me basically. So I've just been following the same thing.
Have you also read Kosha, or it is only Desha Suttu?
Now let me do both, sir. I think so.
Okay. Do you have a mentor or a friend who has always stood together in the thick and thin of life?
So I do have a counselor who has helped me with the applications, because with a full-time job, it was sometimes difficult for me to meet the deadlines. I've managed to do it every single time, but with some kind of assistance and proofreading of my statement of purpose, and my manager and my project manager was given me the letter of recommendations. They have pushed me since day one, and more than everything, my friends. So they sat with me each and every time I was editing my statement of purpose. So they've guided me in and out of the whole process.
Nice. So this brings us to another part where we would like you to shed light on this whole process, this whole concept of statement of purpose.
So I'd say statement of purpose is the first and foremost most important thing while we are submitting our application. So it holds every single thing that you have done as a kid till yesterday, today. So it starts with why we want to study further and what made you apply to this university. And in the body of the statement of purpose, we have to tell them what we have done in the school, what are we working on right now, what are our co-curricular activities. I think that would be the third paragraph, and the last paragraph would be why this university, who are those inspiring professors that you really want to work with, or you want to continue your research on post-graduation, or what made you apply. And basically they want to know why you are coming to our university. And you also at the same time you also have to tell them your worth, because if you want to get into great universities or good universities, there should be something that catches their eye. So you should hold something in the SOP that makes them understand you need this badly, so you would be the perfect fit for this.
Pragna, if it is not highly confidential or personal, could you please share with our audience what are the things that actually went into your SOP? How long is an SOP actually?
It depends on the university. Some universities say it is 600 words. Some universities say it's 400. Some say 300. So it depends on the university. So since now I'm going to Northwestern University, the first question in my statement of purpose was, what is the reason that you want to choose our university? What made you think that you are the best fit here? So I started with the introduction, saying why I want to continue with supply chain. Where did I hear that word first, and what motivated me the most to continue at this point in life after working for 3.5 years? That was my introduction. The body started with the project that I'm currently working with, the Western Digital. And then I had my National Institute of Engineering marks, details, the co-curricular activities, and finally a project that I have done. Next was my second PU, first PU and schooling within one paragraph. If I was a part of some club, if I was a part of some other, drama, dance, extracurricular activities, was I a captain or a school leader, class leader, what did I inculcate from those roles that I got as a kid, all that in the last paragraph. And in the final paragraph, the professor that I really want to work with once I go there, because without research it is a wrong thing to blindly get an admission and spend so much over a college. So you should know what you're going there for, you know whom you're working with and who will be your professor. So is there anything that interests you more and more, or the work of the professor that you want to continue. So all these things I had to write down in the SOP. Some things, if I want to highlight, I would say in my schooling, I've highlighted about the Bharat Scouts and Guides and the Rajyapuraskar Award that I received when I was 14-year-old. And then in my engineering, I was a part of this club, Force Ikshvaku Racing, where it was a racing team where students build a formula style car. So it has two things in the competition. One is the technical aspect where we design the car, we build the car. The second part is the statics part where we do the business presentations, pitches, and then the sponsorship, marketing, social media handling, all that. So this, I think, was something great that made me get a seat at this university. I always believe so.
So you mean to say your SOP on one side should capture your entire life?
Yes.
In very, very few words.
Few words.
Right? And it should be written by you without depending on any generative tools that we have today.
Yes.
Is it something like that?
Yes. So keep it as straight as it can be, as brutally honest you can be on the paper, because you're giving out your emotions, saying I badly need this seat in this university, and to back that up you should have proper facts on why would they ever take you into their university, right? So
should it be like a justified desperation?
Justified desperation, and say your heart out in that. Okay. So usually if we give it to ChatGPT or to generative tools, it will pick up the points, it will pick up whatever you have done, it writes it on its own without any emotions, without a depth. Even if you say make it a little emotional, it cannot be, because it does not have emotions.
Yes.
So end of the day, it's how you pen it down. So how eagerly you want to have a seat in that university makes a lot of difference.
Now I have another question. I don't know how right this question is, but let me try.
Okay.
So you have had education in English.
Yes.
And their medium of instruction and communication is English. So you were able to match.
Yes.
Suppose somebody coming from a background where they don't have exposure to English, what would they do?
That would be quite difficult. So the first and foremost thing, when I applied to this university, they asked for my IELTS score.
Okay.
Which is an English proficiency the exam. If I have a better grade in that, they will choose my application.
Okay.
So that is one of the prerequisites that the universities ask. So people with probably an average to manageable English can always get through, and by passing that exam, obviously a way to get into any university. So because it will be very difficult to manage.
So basically you mean to tell, along with technical skills during the undergrad program, a student must and should focus on English language skills, both written and oral, if they aspire to get into any foreign university.
For sure, because if I applied to Germany, I should have completed my German stage 1 and stage 2. I think they have different stages or different levels. I think level 1 and level 2 is a must to get into a university in Germany. Similarly, if you want to get into some university in Paris or France, some courses are taught in French. So that is also another thing that students, if they really want to go based on country, I think they should have done level 1, level 2, or whatever is the ask from the university. I think it's best to finish that.
Okay. Another question, I don't know again how you will take this, but let me ask this. A few students of mine shared a few posts from social media, and I also got to see a few of them, which told that today the corporate, especially the big companies, are not preferring the Ivy League university students because they are more into activism and all such things.
Okay.
So now that you are at the threshold of getting into an Ivy League university, how would you take this? What is your entire perspective on this?
Like I said, so the job market is very bad right now. Whether I'm a graduate of Ivy League, whether you're not a graduate of an Ivy League, students are desperately applying for jobs morning and evening. Some people have decided to get back to India after their graduate studies, thinking they'll find some job here. At the same time, whatever feedback you got might be true partly because again, not all students are into this activism or into different kind of things, but Ivy Leagues comes with some kind of brand value which always sticks. Because in India, like when we were in second PU or engineering, if we looked at somebody from IIT, we would somewhat say, oh my God, is it? So that brand value tells, yeah, it's always there everywhere, not just globally. We see it around us. Even in Mysore, some things have better names, some things don't have. But end of the day, if there is one bright student who can do anything from whatever college it is, depends on the individual. So I really can't say this is.
Does Pragna want to get into any activism after reaching US?
No, sir, I don't think so. I'm very keen on going and doing my master's in engineering management, get back into corporate world, probably grow in the corporate world. Yes, I want to do good to the society. Probably I'll make changes to my own lifestyle, but I don't want to preach it, right? Small things that I do as an individual probably help in saving the nature, maybe, or if I have any ideas, I don't want to preach it. I just want to keep it to myself and believe that I'm doing good.
So this prompts me to ask the next question. Where exactly does Pragna plan to establish herself, both from career per se and from life per se?
Career per se, I dream big. Like I said, I want to grow in a corporate world. Probably want to, someday be a product owner. Someday want to be the head of the management, have a managerial post, some kind of better role, a director, senior director, VP, why not? It goes on, right? I want to dream big professionally. Personal growth wise, I think it goes hand in hand for me. The better work that I do at my work keeps me happy personally. So once I finish my day's work, I'm satisfied. End of the day, if I want to sit and relax and chill, watch TV, go out, take a walk, go to my gym or my Pilates class, I'll have a better mindset. I'm calm, composed, thinking that I've done whatever I'm supposed to do for today. And I love planning, whether it's at work, whether it's at professionally or personally. I want to plan things out. and it has worked very well for me till today. I want to continue to do so.
Great. You mentioned about Force Ikshvaku in the beginning of the conversation itself.
Yes.
So what I gathered so far is it is something related to cars, maybe designing and all those things.
Yes.
So there are two questions that I want to ask here. A, Formula One is not a sport in India yet. There are a lot of followers, I'm not denying that part. But if you look at the Delhi track, which is dead, because government wants it to be seen as entertainment, and Formula One says it is sports, and entertainment tax is very high. So chances of Formula One coming to India is bleak. That's one. Second thing is, not a lot of women are into Formula One.
Yes.
I don't know how well the audience will take this question, but if my sources are right, whatever I checked and read, there are only about 5 women who have actually driven the F1 car, right? So what actually made you to get into that club of your college? I know NIE has a lot of clubs, lot of performing clubs, but still you chose something which is not chosen by a lot of women, at least today in India.
Yeah.
So what prompted you?
To answer your first question, yes, in India we see that as entertainment but not as a sport. But we did have a team in the Formula One by Vijayavitalla, if I'm not wrong. It was there long ago.
Force India.
Yeah, Force India. So probably whoever is interested want to go out and pursue it. There is something called as F1 Academy for women.
Okay.
And there are so many women engineers who are working in the back end. So Red Bull Racing's technical team has so many women engineers. Not just Red Bull Racing team, Mercedes has it. Like I said, the interest lies in everybody. At least now it has increased. Even the viewership of Formula One in India has increased like anything. Now even the women follow it, men follow it. But I'd say for me, I think I joined just like that. This is something different compared to other clubs. And then I found out there are hardly any girls in my batch. And I was the only one in my batch. Later a junior joined. So I started following Formula One at the same time. Probably when I finished my second PU is when I started following Formula One. I mean, in my house they follow sports like anything. So they follow this also, and I also got introduced from my father, and then from my friends we started having same interest. We used to sit in the same room and watch the race every Sunday. It started like that. Then I was part of the team. And I would want to say that there are so many opportunities for women in racing these days. Not just formula style cars, even with the bikes, even with cars, dirt racing or any motorsport, women have equal opportunities. And there are sources who are, who are supporting women. Something called, like I said, something called as F1 Academy, where you can go join. And there are the women who are competing, and there is F1 Academy Championship where women are winning the races. So it's headed by Susie Wolf. She works for the academy, head of the academy. There's a huge support. So because of the interest, I wanted to do something for the team, either as a technical person or as a person who is doing statistics work, that like business presentation or something else. I joined as a brakes member initially. Okay. Then I deviated into business part of it. So based on interest, I wanted to do something out of it, and somehow this worked well for me. Yeah.
If you get a chance to work for any of these companies who are into Formula One and other things, would you take it up?
100% I would take it up.
So that's there in your mind?
That's there in my mind.
Okay. Right. We wish you good luck. Who knows?
Thank you. I hope to, sir.
So Pragna, my next question is, in our social setting, somebody who's an engineer, who worked or working for an MNC, going abroad for foreign education, is considered to be highly accomplished, somebody who has achieved something. So how do you look at this? And to achieve these things, what should one do?
So I'd say each and every job, whether you're an engineer or a doctor or you're working in an MNC, everything is important. So each and every one of us have our different stages in life which decides our future, right? So for me, I'd say starting from school, the opportunities that I got there to be a house captain, then to be a part of Bharat Scouts and Guides, that gave me some exposure, confidence in life. It helped me have a better communication skills with the teachers, with the students, go to different competitions. And then coming to my engineering, I was a part of a club, and my course was equally difficult where I had to put in a lot of hours to study. Same time I started working as a volunteer for the U&I organization whenever I found time, to make some kind of difference to somebody who are vulnerable or who need some care and help. So all these things got into my profile, and I'd say today all these things together has helped me get a seat at a very reputed university. So it was not a plan back then, but somehow all these things that I did in different stages of life has helped me today. So from every single experience I've gained some kind of knowledge. So I want to take it forward, I want to do better things in the future, learn as much as I can, and be a better human being as I grow older and better. So that's the point.
So would you tell that unknowingly you were engaged in the profile building activity?
Yes.
You did not know where it is heading to,
Yes.
or what you intended to do, but when you look back now, everything is getting connected.
Yeah, I would actually thank my parents for this, because not one day they allowed me or my sister to sit at home in front of the TV. Right after school, we were engaged with conversations with our grandparents, storytelling, and then after school, we used to play outside in the streets with other neighbors' kids. And then again, father was very maybe he told us, see, sports is one thing that will help you grow better as a human. So sports was most important thing. Today also I continue to play one or the other sport daily, as much as I can. If not daily, at least thrice a week I try to have an exercise. So I think together, all of this combined effort, I'd say my parents, myself, and my school, my college, whoever has given me the opportunity, it has given me a great profile today. So it was never a plan for the future, but it has played an important role.
If I can ask you, is there any regret?
One regret that I have till today is probably the fact that I was not able to step into the Indian Air Force. As a kid, I always thought I'd want to get into one of the forces. And I also am a friend with Punya Nanjappa, who is in Air Force currently. I still have the messages sent to her saying, how do I prepare? Do you think I can do this? And everything. So she has sent me a list of things that I'm supposed to do, be active, know what's happening around. And after engineering, somewhat during the COVID time, right, I was in my final year where I had to sit for college placements, and I was totally thinking about that all the time. Lost touch of getting into any of the forces. Probably if I want to go back, I would try really hard and try and get into one of the forces.
Right. If you were to give an advice to yourself, a 16-year-old Pragna and say 22-year-old Pragna, that's the two turning points. There are many, but I chose these two. What would those advices be?
At 16, yes, I was still a kid, listened to whatever parents said, and I'm happy about it. Nothing that I want to tell myself back then, because I'm pretty sure I was very much involved in every single co-curricular activity as well as my academics to my fullest and given my best. As a 20-year-old, probably I would have told myself to know what your priorities are at that point, because we tend to have a lot of distractions when we are at 20. Might be spending more time with friends, going out, eating out a lot, wasting a lot of time in general. Yes, that is all a great experience, but now if I go back and tell myself when I'm 20, I'd say just set your priorities straight, do what would help you for the future. And I would always say start investing when you're in your 20s. Yeah.
When did you start investing?
My sister made me invest. The day I received my first paycheck, my sister told me, Akka, come, let's go. Let's start with a mutual fund today. I listened to her that day and I'm very happy. Similarly, my parents have always told, have as much fun you want, Same time, make sure you're saving something because you need something for your rainy days, right? So that I've always believed is a most important thing. So today, for a part of my studies in the future, I'm able to fund myself for it. So that's something that I'm really proud of.
You should be super proud of it. Nice. So in that case, I come to the last but one question. Do you have any advice to the students in higher education?
Students in higher education, sir, I'm yet to step into that now.
Maybe the undergrads.
Undergrads, yeah. Undergrads, I'd say profile building is the most important thing. Do as much as you can when you're in your 18th to 21st year. Continue doing, I won't say stop at 21. At the same time, have something in your profile that is different from other people in your class, or probably be more confident, engage yourself in a socialized environment, make more friends, meet more people, network, and that will give you all the confidence in the future to approach someone, or if you are in a very vulnerable situation, you can talk to someone. So I'd say network, be confident, and communicate as much as you can.
Can you suggest a couple of things which stands out from the crowd in the profile?
Probably, in engineering colleges, mostly people are concerned about their CGPA. I'd say have a great CGPA. I'm not saying have a minimal CGPA where just the passing marks is enough. No. Have a decent CGPA. Along with that, give some time to one of the clubs, one of those activities, or like a social cause, like I said, helping children, women, or the society. Give back something to the society, or be a part of a club. Engage yourself with different students in different branches. Invite people to your college to talk about things, give you a better perspective about the corporate world, or whatever you're thinking for your future. Have an idea into what you're stepping into. So as a kid, like I said, tomorrow I want to go join Air Force. I was just dreaming that day, but today if I want to go back to being in the forces, I'll know what are the cons, what are the pros being there. So evaluate everything very well, be very engaging, make as much friends you can, have as much connections as you can. I would say that will help, that will stand out from someone in your own class.
My last question is for teachers like me who are teaching the undergrad courses. What is your advice? What is it that we should work on to be more effective in the classroom and to reach out to the Gen Zs?
The Gen Z's state of mind is still, new to me, because I think I'm just the Gen Z, 1999 born, just the Gen Z. So probably the typical Gen Zs would want things very quickly. They want quicker, returns, quicker advice, results, and probably adding technology to our curriculum would help Gen Zs, make it more attractive for them, or having more practical hands-on experiences, case studies like I mentioned, would make them more curious about the same thing, right? Because sitting in the class listening to the lecture, I'm pretty sure know how Gen Zs are reacting today. True. So something exciting is required for them. Maybe, social media. They learn more in social media than in a newspaper today, even me. But I'd say, everything needs to be more interesting, colorful, and everything. So if we can take the classes to be that exciting, probably it would have helped everyone, yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to find a way and make classes more colorful than what it is today. Pragna, it was wonderful talking to you, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who are aspiring to go abroad and study would definitely have some inputs from this conversation. We wish you all the very best.
Thank
and
you,
hope
sir.
to keep in touch.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.